all, is a great way to pump each other up and get the new year started on the right foot.
Certainly is. And, as important as it is to get that positive mindset, one of the factors in that most people tend to leave out is you need to make sure you have time to relax. And that, acknowledging that and planning for that changes some things. Like when I was looking at what I wanted to do for 2020, one of the things that I thought would be a great goal for me was I wanted to read 52 books over the course of the year, one a week. I changed that and lowered the number. I changed it to 45. Why did I change it from 52 to 45? Because I realized a book a week I could do if I'm reading business books, that's great. But if I want to include some novels in there and actually take time for myself to read something that's relaxing and enjoyable, novels tend to be almost twice as long as business books do. So I'm going to need to allot that time. So I changed it to 45 books for the year so that I could put in some of these longer novels that I would like to read and have the time to do it right. But you need to allot that time. When Chip earlier mentioned 7 things, one of the things he mentioned was getting enough sleep. And getting sleep and relaxation, so many of us have the mindset, well, I'll rest when I'm dead. Let me just get things done. It's a sure ticket to burnout. And you want to make sure that if you're really going to accomplish important things that are important to you, things that are important to others, you need to be refreshed, you need to be healthy, and you need to be rested. Because sleep has been shown to fight off Alzheimer's and dementia in the long term. It's been shown to give yourself a good reset in the short term. It's so important, and yet so many people ignore it.
Yeah, and one of the things that you were just mentioning as far as your reading 45 books for the year, what that leads me to think about is having an all-inclusive calendar. A lot of people, business people, just have their appointments in there for businesses. But if you plan ahead of time, part of your total personal package, plan that vacation ahead of time, plan family time, plan date night for the week, plan reading time 30 minutes a day or however you're going to do that. I mean, if you want to accomplish reading 45 books a year, you have to set aside X amount of time every day to do that kind.
Yep.
And if you can put into your daily planner, setting that time to do that every single day and probably doing that at the same time every day based upon when you're most awake and that kind of thing, the more you work on it up front, the more efficient you're going to be. We talked again about analyzing what you're doing for the next week or two and just writing down what's going on, and you'll see all the wasted time that you have. Whereas if you have this put into a calendar, that's the way to change that in a hurry. But positive anticipation is one of the neatest things that you can have. I mean, if you're looking forward to that vacation coming up in 6 months, or just getting out together with your wife and going out to dinner next Friday night, it really, really gives you a lift in everything else that you're doing. And it's one of the best ways for you to stay positive.
Absolutely. And a while back, we did a show talking about how you could use business tools to organize your personal life. And it's so important to do that because when we're looking at our business life, we schedule things, we have planners, we have project managers, all these tools. And we tend to forget about that when it comes to our personal life. And in fact, there's this great commercial for a financial system, a work financial system, where these business people are sitting there and they make comments like, when I'm not around, everybody raids the piggy bank. I don't even know how we make it month to month. And you think they're talking about business. And then it goes, fortunately, I never have these problems at work. Well, the reason they don't have these problems at work is because they're using a system to track everything. Use those same types of systems to track your personal life. You wouldn't run a business without a budget. Why are you trying to run your personal life without one? Plan your personal life. Make time for family, friends, hobbies, reading, movies, whatever it is. But make sure you've got that time set aside so that you can actually get to it.
Yeah, and list and celebrate your accomplishments. I mean, I think it's a great idea for you right now to go over. You've developed an organizer to not only put down your appointments, but actually things that you're checking on every day and tracking and so on. So if you give the people out there some of the highlights of things that they just incorporated this into their daily lives as far as tracking things and planning things, help out. Because your organizer is unique compared to a whole lot of other calendars out there.
Yes, we created a coaching organizer for our clients. And a few years ago, we actually made it available to the public. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Most bookstores can order it. But the Biznetics Daily Planner, it has a 24-hour calendar, so you can schedule everything in your day. It has a part of the daily calendar to write what you're grateful for, so your gratitude journal that we talked about earlier. It has a to-do list for the projects that you're trying to track. But two of the most important things are very simple analysis trackers. When you write down your schedule, on each line of the calendar, there are two icons. There's a circle and there's a lightning bolt. The circle is for you to track your productivity. If what you're doing at that moment is absolutely necessary to accomplishing one of your goals, fill the circle in. If it's something that it's sort of necessary but not right on task, maybe something administrative that has to be done, but you fill in half the circle. If it's something that, you're scrolling through Facebook or, you're looking at cats on YouTube, you leave the circle empty. Doing this over time, you see how much time you're wasting, how much time you're actually productive. And it gives you a good idea of what's going on during your day in terms of how you're wasting and spending time. The lightning bolt is meant to track your energy level. There is a great myth amongst productivity coaches that you have to get up early in the morning, 4 a.m., you hit the ground running, and you get your most important thing done first thing, so everything else is easier. And this only works for a small percentage of people. Everybody has a different way that their body works, and you need to schedule your day the way your body works. So what these lightning bolts are is you track your energy. If you're at full energy, you're really going, circle the lightning bolt. If you're average, you put a line through the lightning bolt. If you're dead tired, if you're just not cross that lightning bolt out. By doing this over time, you'll see how your energy flows. Now, I know full well if I get up at 4 a.m., most of my day is right there wasted because I'm tired. I'm not functioning well that early in the morning. Nothing's going to get done. However, if I stay up until midnight, 1 a.m., I'm getting a lot more done in the evening and at night than I ever would in the morning because that's how my body works. So the Biznetics Daily Planner has all of this in one place. Places to put daily goals, overall goals, and this way it ties it all together so that you're tracking not just your business life, but your personal life. And you're looking at yourself as a whole person, not a business person or, husband or a wife or any part of you, but you're looking at the whole thing. So that you can get that on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or from this description, you can actually just write it down on a piece of paper yourself, as long as you're following all of it.
It's a great tool.
Thank you. Yeah, we've had some great success with it. Our clients love it because, again, it takes everything into consideration. It's about being a whole person, not just part of what you are. And that's really what causes a lot of problems when you're setting goals, when you're trying to do things, because you set goals as a business person and you go, oh, okay, this is reasonable. I can accomplish all of that. But then you've got all the stuff from it at home and you schedule all the things you want to do at home. Go, okay, that's reasonable. I can do all of that. But if you don't look at those two lists together, when you put them together, you usually realize, wait a minute, there's no way I can do all of that all at once. There's not enough hours in the day. So you have to look at the whole picture.
Yeah. A single source for getting organized is fantastic to have. And that's why I wanted you to talk more about that today, because that really is, talk about a fresh start. If you have that tool in front of you where organize yourself as far as what your goals are and so on and so forth. But then every single day you have that tracking mechanism right there and it's in front of you the whole time. Why reinvent the wheel? You mentioned the different components of that, and if people just wanted to write those down, that's great. But it's also important to really have a tool to help you track yourselves, because our minds are one thing, but a piece of paper with words in front of it is a whole lot easier for you.
Yes, it is. And the most important part of having a tool, whether it's a planner, a spreadsheet, or whatever it is the fact that you can look back on it. A gratitude journal is great when you write down, what you're grateful for that day or what you accomplished that day. But it really comes into value when you're not feeling it, when you're a little down, when you're overwhelmed, and you can go back over it and go, oh my God, look at everything I accomplished. Hey, I've really got things going. And
Yeah.
it helps you, boosts your morale and helps keep a positive mindset.
Right. I mean, the next time you're down on yourself, you go look at that. And I know I've gone over this before, but I started doing my gratitude journal, I think in 2014 or 15. And mine is a spreadsheet. So there's a row for every single day of the year. And all I do is I put down January 1st in the first thing, and I go all the way down to December 31st. And every day I make it a point to just write something next to that, as far as mostly it's different things that I've done during the day. And being really flaky like I am, it wasn't until about 6 months ago that I said, why don't I just go back? I have all these things here because I got a worksheet for every single year in the workbook, and analyze what's gone on in past years. And now I do that every single day. So I can go back for the last 6, 7 years and look at all the cool stuff that was going on and what's going on now. And it's really fantastic. I look at my wife and say, hey, do you realize that 4 or 5 years ago we did this and so on and so forth? Just start it today and go back and read it every day. And as it builds up, it's a wonderful tool to just bring back the power of positivity in your life and the other people that you're around, just by sharing things like that.
Absolutely. Most people get so bogged down in the day to day, they don't realize how much they've actually accomplished. And having a way to look back and go, oh my God, look how much I've changed. Look how much I've grown. Look how much more I've accomplished. It's a great way to boost your mindset, give yourself forward momentum, and help not just give yourself a fresh start at the beginning of the year, but periodically, a great way for you to move forward. So we're just about at the end of our time. Chip, what do you think is a big takeaway for our audience today?
Do we have another half an hour? I'm just kidding. Basically, it's putting down your personal strategic plan on paper in the first place, getting yourself organized to start the year, getting everything cleaned up so you have a fresh start, setting those goals to get things done. And very important, like we just talked about, is to have a way to track things and keep yourself on focus. So your Business Daily Planner is one great tool to do that. But again, if not, you just have all the different things that you need to track in one place so that you can do that. And most importantly, just take a look in the mirror and realize that that person, you, has got a lot going on for yourself. And again, if you want to get back to things, do your gratitude journal and that kind of thing to